Hello, one and all, and welcome back to the four-digit World Cup. And here we are with our European showdown on the B stream because France is making a run of it on the A stream. It's Germany versus Sweden, the seed 2, coming up 21 seeds in their qualifiers and putting on shows week over week. One of the strongest teams, one of the picks to win for a lot of teams, but Sweden looking to play Heartstopper here, already taking down China last week, bringing them to tiebreaker, another top 3 performing team last year, and now looking to continue their dark horse run. I am hubbawubba, and joined with me on commentary is Floflorian. How are you feeling about the head-to-head?
Yeah, exciting match here. Both of these teams still in the winner bracket, as you said, and such a strong roster here, especially here for the German team. I don't know. Germany last week had some really dominant performance, 5-0 the other team, despite being one player down. Sweden had a very strong performance as well, just not quite as astonishing as Germany did. They're gonna have a bit of a rough one, I think. They have some really strong players, especially Silla, who has been performing at the top of its game recently. But it's gonna be more than Silla necessary here to steal us away.
Yeah, and some very quick bans in succession here. It's going to be Hidden 2 for Germany, Hard Rock 2 for Sweden, taking out their respective specialty skill sets in those mod pools, the precision and the reading. This Hidden 2 been touted as one of the harder reading scalings we've seen in the 4WC, so likely to be turned down. But as for this pool, not going to be played due to that difficulty.
Yeah, we have, of course, a bit of a bigger pool here. Bans here. Hidden 2 here from Germany. Don't want to play this reading. Hard Rock 2 ban from the side of Sweden. And another DT4 ban. The DT4 ban, kind of interesting. Not necessarily one of the hardest maps. Nomad 5 and DT2 is usually very strong for the German side, so I would have rather expected one of these speed, one of these tapping bans, these high BPM bans. But they have opted to ban this DT4. I don't want to play that. Hubba, go predict us the next ban.
The Germany ban, they ban Hidden 2. It's either going to be No Mod 6, Free Mod 2, I would imagine, based off of the comfort of the Swedish team. Of course, having a reading giant like Silla on your side is always going to be a solid thing, seeing as I just played with a guy and Suiji, and he matched Yolkspie on easy, so what can you do? So
yeah, that is true.
those free mods are going to be really strong for them.
That is absolutely true. There is still, though, Burn Castle, also known as Semi, who is incredibly strong, and minus Lion. Both of these players are extremely strong on these easies, and maybe it's just just not feeling this Hidden 2, because they are certainly a force to be reckoned with in the reading, and it's going to be the Hidden 1 ban. So what they don't like, it seems like, is not necessarily the reading, but more the hidden. They do be the hidden haters.
Yeah, surprisingly so. Getting rid of that second one, and that's just about that team consistency. A map like that, very volatile with this high BPM aim patterns on the Dance Gavin Dance maps, as we've become to know and love with these tournament pools. Been showing up quite a lot recently, but that one falling to the wayside, Hidden one down, and now for Germany to make their first pick. Now, last week, they really enjoyed some of those later no-mod pulls. Something like a no-mod 3, no-mod 4 was a very strong score for them, that no-mod 4 being the second strongest of the weekend, only second to Canada, who had a 1 million difference there. So I feel like Tech could be really strong as an opener for this Germany team, something to dip their toes in.
Yeah, Tech certainly could be in it, but it's a German team, arguably maybe even the strongest Tech team in the tournament, was seed 1 in the qualifier. So, quite questionable. It's still very surprising to me that they did ban a map like that into, and it's gonna be the DT2 pick. So what I said previously, these high BPM tapping picks really just making Germany feel good, and they want to invest into this, like just pure speed, just pure stamina and speed here.
Yeah, and I mean, this was the not banned skill set, which is a surprise because normally you see teams like hard stamina. Okay, let's ban the DT2, DT4. Other team is really good at tapping. A player like Frost is like a guaranteed FC on a map like this. But then you look at the consistency a map like this brings in comparison to DT4, which is a lot more flowy, has those cut patterns. It's a little bit scarier than this pure tapping. So Sweden hoping to go for the consistency angle, knowing that Germany is going to pick tapping in some regard, would prefer the consistent angle over the more gambly one.
Yeah, and we did see last week Kitten Frost, Side Frost was not playing, and we had Stella hopping in and being pretty much the only non-FC on that map. So they were third place in the DT2 last week, and now with the power of Side Frost, they're gonna have their full tapping roster, which does not bode well here for the Swedish team. Of course, as you said, Sweden still very strong force on this as well. Certainly not to be counted out, especially people like Scylla, who kinda see everything they touch. This could be some really, really close one.
Now it's just about how volatile they feel, how warmed up these players feel. The rosters are in. It's going to be Melwim, Grippa, Zilla, Psycho OK versus Minoji's,
Yeah,
Frost, Ivana, and Shrek.
and something to count out as well is that it is both for both teams 10 p.m., so it might be a little bit late on the Sunday here. Some players might be already a little bit more on the tired side. I would not expect necessarily. This tournament does wake you up. The stress does wake you up to some extent, but maybe some of them have played already quite a few tournaments. Usually Stella spams them.
Yeah, I mean, I know the Sweden superstar is warm because I just played with the guy, but gonna be first early breaks, no trades. Grippa falling to the wayside early, getting into this map. It is a little bit longer for one of these stamina picks, so just at 2:30. So plenty of time to get into it, but again, it's about this double time consistency. Germany so strong on these tapping picks last week on that Nomad 5, getting fourth place for the 3.2 million team score, only breaking at the tail end, and that's on without this added score multiplier from the double time. So only break still early on is going to be that first one from Grippa, but accuracies are reconsolidated, and the match 97s on a handful of players is going to be the only reason for this 55k difference. Buzz sliders all being held on by players, and it's looking scary at the third mark.
Yeah, just watching Shrek right now, he does shake from circle to circle, but that's just a Shrek thing. Next person here, the first person here to go an actual break here, Grippy, was just not, it's just not a good one. Vana does trade it back, so that's 3 FCs versus 3 FCs. Both teams still looking quite fine here. It's really, especially going into the later stages of this map, the further you go in, the more of a disadvantage you will receive if you break. And it's gonna be Shrek being the next person to break. Very unlucky Miss Minoji once again as well. It's only Kitten Frost, only Side Frost on the side of Germany. Sweden looking really strong, stealing the score towards their side. 2/3 of the map left. They would need to break soon. Scylla is now gonna be breaking. Still 2 FCs. If they hold a little bit longer, they might still be forcing it enough to their side.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 250k difference. Grippa also trades, but it's only those recovery combos. It's 2 FCs to 1. The 200 combo on everyone else, as well as those act drops, are looking scary. And I mean, this is the consistency I'm talking about. You know what to expect with a map like this. You have these flow patterns. They're all kind of similar with the decelling in the middle of them. And it's this consistency. 340k still held at this point. Even with Zeitfrost FC, the potential score is over, and Sweden have confirmed a breakpoint or very early against a lot of people's picks to win this tournament. So gonna be a really good start for them as they enter this match.
Yeah, very strong score here. Sweden here with the third strongest score of the tournament, only 80,000 points shy of being the strongest score of the tournament. So certainly like a really solid score set from all players, really. Even looking on the side of Germany, there were no weak players. Like Shrek had a slider break. Two of their players had only one misses. So yeah, it seemed a bit unfortunate, but Sweden here showing that they seem to have more consistency on this type of map and stealing this first break point away. It is not a good start for Germany and probably a dream start here for Sweden.
Yeah, and I mean that sort of, I don't know. It puts a asterisk on any other tapping pick that Germany was expecting to win in this pool. There's two more maps here, Storia and Shihandu, both of which are a lot more speedier than this map. This is more of the stamina pull there. Nomad 5 more finger control oriented, DT3 more raw speed oriented. And both of those have an asterisk there when they thought they had the advantage because the Sweden just kind of hit a home run on that DT2. And now Sweden able to pull, they just saw a double hidden ban. I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled through with a free mod 1 or a hidden 3, just to continue off of that perceived weakness from Germany.
Yeah, 3 will be quite a dangerous pick for the Swedish side. Germany does have two strong, easy players. So they're gonna go for this Nomad 1, the tiebreaker 1. It seems like they can't wait for the tiebreaker.
Yeah, this is I mean, I said it at the beginning of DT2 and I'm gonna say it again. Sweden likes their consistency. They just came off the back of a tiebreaker in their last match and they're looking to keep up that excitement as we're going into Ago 80s with a very interesting map to start off. I mean, a perceived aim consistency strength on the Sweden side. Germany doesn't tap into aim very often, more of a tapping and gimmick oriented team. As you mentioned, players like Burn Castell very strong on the gimmick, but Sweden good at both, and gonna be making this one interesting by bringing us into such a lengthy avenue so early.
Yeah, players are getting ready. Taking their time here. It's a bit of a longer map here. This map is gonna be a lot of aim. There's some bursty parts in that 2/3 of the map. It's gonna be a stream part which will hold on for about a minute, a little bit less than that, before turning back into chumps once again. So it is a Nomad 1 with some Nomad 2 twist. Yeah, and it's the map is essentially you want to hold like the first 1,300 combos at the very least. They're usually like they're quite easier than the rest of the map. Still very easy to break on, not like for sure, especially because there's like 2 or 3 like spiky parts that have like these cross screen jumps. But usually I think for players on this level, I think everyone should be able to see it to this way, and then just take as much combo into this tapping part with you. And now we are getting into it. Sweden having the first breakpoint. Germany now looking to take it back, but certainly Sweden not hero modified.
Yeah, Sweden putting this 6-minute wall between them and a point consolidation now as we head into this map. Some things to note in terms of the strength. Well, other than an early Zeitfrost miss. Sweden getting number 2 overall on qualifiers Nomad 1, getting the number 1 Nomad 1 score last weekend. And Germany, as I mentioned, hasn't played a Nomad 1 yet in bracket stage. So this is going to be very curious for them as they intro into some aim, which they haven't played in quite some time in these pools.
Yeah, and these early misses kind of make it a little bit more scary. Of course, the map is so long that these misses pretty much don't matter at all, but it might be things to come, might be a little bit of a show of things to come. Stella missing once again, just not feeling it. Maybe that is the exhaustion from like this long tournament day, long tournament weekend. She's of course playing always so many tournaments, and it is fortunately here for Germany, Saika, Saikauko, whatever how you say that name, gonna be missing as well. Just beginning of the map once again. It's not matters that much, but yeah.
Yeah, really solid stuff to start from each team. This kind of wavering 12k difference, nearly 3 FCs held on each side. It's only going to be the slight accuracy diff on a handful of players. SS is still held on 3. as Blue, Scylla, and Lion looking very consistent through this first quarter, and now first Ki. The aim on some of these players looking kind of rounded. I mean, I don't know if anybody else is watching Lion right now, but this this is
Oh,
looking a little bit scary for the aim. He's holding on to the SS though, so who am I to complain?
well,
As all
just look at
players.
Scylla.
Oh yeah. Oh, but Minoji, there's one of those FCs down. Minoji falling to the wayside. It's Lion now with the Soul FC on Germany. Kittenfrost with that very, very strong recovery combo. Melwem and Blue, though, hold through that first Ki. Only 100 for each of the two players at the bottom, and Scylla still holding onto that SS.
Yeah, just some showing here. The only person who struggled here a little bit, I wouldn't necessarily say struggles, who shit missed maybe once, is gonna be Saika. And yeah, Germany not looking as strong as the Swedish team. And I think you mentioned it previously, Sweden just on this insane run on these number one, but that miss here from Melwa could be opening the door here for Germany.
Yeah, and you could tell by the little circle twirl on the slider, he's not happy about that one. But Lion is not going to be happy about that either. That's the Soul FC for Germany
No.
down. It's only Zeitfrost recovery combo now breaking in that first pattern. I guess it's yet to be seen whether or not he will be performing an intercamping method, or but he's gonna be the only combo for Germany as this continues on. Stella also wants some solid recovery, but is not matching those double FCs from Blue and Scylla as we go on. Saika as well, having just similar recovery as Stella, and this 80k score lead at the halfway point is going to be pretty strong. Don't want to miss on this Ki. That'll be cutting your potential score massively in half. Just as I say that, Saika, very unfortunate slider break.
Ooh.
Under aim is matched by Melem as well, and giving a little bit of an entry in, as Germany builds up combos. Once again, Minoji and Lion have a little bit more now, and it's the double FC against Zeitfrost, Stella, and some recoveries.
Yeah, and still, Germany needs one of these FCs at the very least to drop here on the Swedish side. Scylla finally dropping that SS, showing a little bit of weakness, but showing it does not mean that you can take advantage of that, and as long as they keep holding through. Now getting into the tapping part, into the big combos here. Stella being the next person to miss, that's not good. Lion also falling on the side of Germany. Sweden looking here to take this point on their own pick. Certainly not out yet, but just looking so strong for them with these two FCs and this massive score. They will be able to get through this if they keep holding on.
Yeah, this just looks so comfortable for them, but the stream section, it kind of enforces some hybrid skill sets. Saika and Stella finding those trades, but the
no.
biggest combo is down as Zeitfrost, the only big combo for the side of Germany, falls alongside Minoji. And now Lion with his 300 combo is facing this onslaught, this wall of combo, a combined near 5,000 from Sweden. As we broach the end of this map, and this double FC is incredible work from the Swedish side. A Nomad 1 masterclass as we have gotten used to them pulling.
Absolutely, all of these players just doing such a great job here, and they are looking to maybe even get the strongest Nomad 1 once again on this map. I think it's not enough, but still just showing why they do keep picking these Nomad 1s, why they are so good on them, and how consistent they are on aim like this.
Yeah, and I mean, it's all eyes on those two players, Blue and Scylla, the aim duo. They have gotten used to performing this heavy on these Nomad 1s and looking to do it again. Just those tapping bits taking off the couple of players, Saika and Melwem on those sections, but building up once again on the ending and showing out here, trying to close what may end up a 3 million team score on this map, which would be a generational run for them as we head into our final jumps patterns. Blue drops the FC. With all eyes on Scylla, can he close it out?
Well, he did close it out because Sweden is going to be taking the #1 spot on that Nomad 1 for this weekend on this last match, so that's fixated for them. Super strong, super dominant fashion here. Germany just not being able to get a good score throughout their team here. No FCs for them, and Stella with that 99.76%, Blue with that 99.5% choke here, and no player on the side of Sweden below 99%. That is insane of a score.
Yeah, the accuracy is just so comfortable for those players. Very comfortable stats on the map. The AR 9.7, OD9, a classic for those consistency pulls. But now it's back to Germany, and I mean, getting that little bit of downtime for that Nomad 1 after the consolidated breakpoint. They had some time to consider this next pick for a while, I'd imagine.
Yeah, certainly Germany on the back foot here right now. Not happy with that breakpoint here. They could still be going. I dare to say Germany could still be going for that 3-3. I think it would be very risky because Sweden last week, of course, had some phenomenal score on 3-3, but it was a very different map, and maybe Germany just feels the right way with these two easy players that they have. Other than that, they could still go for something like the Nomad 5, maybe. Don't get scared by this DT2 loss. Maybe they were just a little bit unlucky, but they are going for the tech Hard Rock. Hard Rock 3.
Yeah, I mean, now this is a poll. We're going from the longest map in the pool to the shortest, with fields left out. TV size length, 1:30, just about. Actually, exactly 1:30. Look at that. This is going to be a very RNG map, as that diff name would imply. Very high velocity sliders. These cut stream patterns are no slouch. One of the hardest maps this weekend to close out an FC on. I feel like a 95% accuracy average is what we've come to expect on a map like this, but with such powerhouses stepping up to the plate on it, it's gonna be interesting to see. I like this as a tech pull for Germany, though. We talked about this early on. Nomad 4, very strong for them, very strong tech team overall. This is just a hyper volatile version of that map they already know and love.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a very strong as a tech pick for Germany, but we have seen the Swedes just taking so good scores off these Hard Rock maps. In fact, both of the Hard Rocks from last week, I believe, were banned versus Sweden, just with how dominant they have been in these before. Qualify alone, like C3 on both of the Hard Rocks. It could be a very dangerous pick here for Germany. I think Sweden is as the Hard Rock player is just super consistent on this as well. It's gonna be quite interesting to see here.
Yeah, I mean, on one end, I like how short this is because it's going to prove, like, it's going to be a lot harder for Sweden to continue this consistency route they've been wanting to go on. But on the other end, it's so difficult, it's so volatile, these patterns, so tricky. Some of these slider bursts, you really have to remain precise to avoid those slider breaks. The Hard Rock mod is going to help with that because you're used to being precise with the Hard Rock mod, but for a tech map like this is just so demon mode. But Germany, their tech roster, Lion, Kittenfrost, and then Stella for that comfort Hard Rock is going to be a really tough team to beat on this map and should be a entry point into this match that they really need.
Yeah, Stella kind of loving these type of maps. It's just her strongest skill set. And I think we're gonna see great things here from her, but not only her here. There's a lot of players who could certainly have seen this map. Almost everybody in this lobby for sure. But it's about these tournament matches, about this one try you have. It's not a map you can retry. And your consistency is the most important part. Sweden here starting off with a bit of a better accuracy. Stella, surprisingly, the first person to fall, does get traded by Malwam and Blue, so the combo advantage, especially with that miss here from Grippy as well. Only the FC here on Silla left. So German, bit of a stronger start here.
Yeah, they're looking really cozy so far. Only one break on Stella. Silla also to find the drop. No FCs for Sweden, and we're already seeing the scoreline build up halfway through. Highest accuracy in the lobby, taking the cake to off with this wholesome 98% through this first quarter. Only a near 700 max combo on this map to close it out. So yeah, just a sliver of it remaining as Germany already a 500k lead. And I mean, momentum is king at times, and this is a huge momentum shift for this match going into this short map. And still 3 FCs with this recovery being held. Stella, it's the recovery that falls. It isn't the FC, and it's looking so dominant. The combos just are not going to be held on this Swedish side. Finally to break, but what a team score from the Germans.
Yeah, damage already done. That is gonna be a 1 million score advantage, and quite a showing. Second strongest score here of the weekend, and what can you say? What can you do against a team like that? Even if for example, Stella had FC, that wouldn't have mattered at all. Germany here with 900,000 on Kitten Frost and 2 700k scores as well, just throughout consistent on it. And surprisingly, Stella, who I would have rather expected to be the person who would have mostly expected to FC this map, being one of the lower scores, just shows how well versed and how strong the German roster is as a whole.
Yeah, just to show the average comparisons, the average score for Sweden on that map was 450k, and the average score for Germany on that map was 700 flat. So even with the underperformance on Stella, Frost picked up the pace with that FC and was a phenomenal team score for Germany going into that pick. And just like that, it's over. It's back to Sweden's side, and they got to consider a very open pool so far. Where are they going to go next after that Nomad 1?
Yeah, if I was on Sweden's side, on Sweden's shoes, I'll be a little bit worried right now. Sure, they got this breakpoint, which is massive for them, which is huge, as important as it gets. But if you get gapped on a hard rock, which is usually something you would expect Sweden to play, and Sweden went ahead and banned the hard rock too. A bit of a scary one. There's of course still maps like the 3x3. I performed last week extremely well on that map. Still a very different one. And maybe something like the Hidden Tree, Nomad 6. And they're gonna go with that aim. Once again, they have performed well on Nomad 1, and they're trying to do it once again on that DT1.
Yeah, DT1 gonna be an interesting pull here from the Swedish side. The last week they got a really solid team score on this. It was 3.5 million team score for Sweden on DT1, so certainly no slouch, and certainly, again, hopping into this aim, kind of testing Germany where they haven't been tested before, haven't really played this skill set too much. Granted, the score from Sweden wasn't, like, out of this world. It was number 9 for the weekend. It was the most popular map of the weekend out of all 30 teams who played it, but like, it's just a skill set that Germany isn't so used to, and a map like this, where it's like an onslaught of aim for its entire 3-minute duration, like, there's really no breaks here. It's 255 for a long time.
Yeah, just as you say, it's a bit of a rough one, and it is, as you said, just so difficult. I think we've only seen one FC throughout the entire weekend on this map, which is crazy. It's just, it doesn't look difficult. It doesn't look like the map that people would struggle to FC, but oh my god, it is so difficult. Both of these teams really gotta try their best here. Maybe get some FCs in here. I think it's kind of necessary with how strong both of these teams have been performing till now.
Yeah, and I mean, gonna be a similar roster. We are swapping out Psycha for Osulan Bolev. But Blue, Scylla, Melwem keeping their trio intact, and it's going to be the same roster for Germany as this Nomad 1, Vana, Zeitfrost, Minoji, and Shrek. So hoping to bring a slightly better score this time around with the same aim roster.
I think Stella was playing that Nomad 1 as well. We have one person hopping instead of Stella.
True. Okay, Vana is new.
Yes. And yeah, we are getting into it, and both teams looking really good on this right at the beginning. We don't see any shakes, you don't see any struggles here. Only a person here a little bit lower on the accuracy is Blue, and it is just the beginning. Doesn't really mean much. Scores are also completely in the middle. No team has a clear accuracy advantage here. And the map is 3 minutes long. There's a lot of time to break here. Melvin being the first person to fall. Kitten Frost being the next person to trade. And it's 3 FCs versus 3 FCs, 1/4 into the map in.
Yeah, and make that 2-3 as we see that break come through for Minoji. And I mean, it's just a consistency check. A lot of people have really like clinged onto this map as like an onslaught, but Blue and Vana to find another trade.
Mm.
And it is Scylla and Osulan still holding on together. Shrek, the Soul Wall, the Soul SS actually matching Scylla on accuracy as well. He's been really confident in the accuracies throughout these aim picks, but he has to do it for another 2 minutes as we've only passed that first minute.
Yeah, and this FC advantage here for Sweden, not boding well here for Germany. It is a Swedish pick, so not as devastating as it could be, but Germany has a lot of pull back here, 150,000 points advantage for the Swedish side already. And the further Scylla and Ozolan Bolo do FC this map, the further it will be pulled to their side, especially with the miss here from Shrek. That is the last FC gun for the side of Germany, and it's not looking good for them.
Yeah, these aim patterns just keep on going. SS broken for both players. Osalan Bolov takes out the FC, but it's the Scylla show. Once again, the Swedish superstar is holding on to the FC with that recovery combo from Melwem, kind of playing ball as well. There is a recovery building on Zeit and Vana though, but Vana and Melwem to trade. It's just Zeitfrost Minoji. And he has enough backup for this scoreline to stay where it is in the meantime, especially with that break from Zeitfrost Scylla, who's still keeping it building in this final quarter. And this is a hard map to be consistent on. We are already seeing like a top 3 score for the weekend, and he may take the cake with this accuracy if it holds up.
Yeah, just incredible stuff. Like the entirety of Germany, their score is not bad, but what can they do against the Scylla, who's kind of solo carrying right now with this 99.5% finishing out with this incredible FC? It seems like. Just what can he do against it? That's the strongest score on this map, and it's not even close. Next person here with that FC was from Juan Dario with 98.7%. Scylla by almost a whole percent beating him out here. Crazy stuff here. And yeah, Sweden once again on their pick, just showing this dominance that they have been throughout this match. It seems like on their own picks. 3.066 million. That is 4,000 more than the strongest score of the weekend from Canada. So Sweden gonna be taking the score once again. On aim.
Yeah, it feels as though like Sweden has really scouted this weak point in Germany's game. I feel like Sweden very consistent in a lot of places. Germany is the strongest team period in the tournament in a lot of places. But then you go to the aim and it just falters a little bit. Like these qualifiers results, they get a number 2 and several number 1s in a row, and then number 20 on Hidden 1, for example. Like, and then like the number 10 on Nomad 1. Like, there's just this slight gappage there on this aim that Sweden has taken advantage of now, and there's still a free mod 1 to go to next, where they'll be able to pick into their comfort mods as well.
Yeah, absolutely, but there is only so much aim in this pool, and the moment they run out of aim, it's the big question of what they're gonna pick from that point. And Germany now, despite losing the DT1 previously, still opting to go into the Nomad 5. I think that's a good call, despite losing the DT2. I think they're still consistently better at these type of skill sets, but still very, very dangerous. And let's see how this one will go.
Yeah, a map like this, where there's just so much finger control difficulty affiliated with that tapping, I feel like maps like this really strike out pure stamina players. With all these stacks and the constant snap movement as well, it adds an extra layer to that stamina that like pure stream players are gonna have a trickier time tapping. So that's gonna be that question if the depth of Germany's tapping roster is going to affect this pick in comparison to DT2.
Yeah, this map is quite brutal on the stamina, just as you said. I am generally a speed player. I tried playing this map. I have seen the map from last week, for example, when I tried it out, and this one I got 80%. I just couldn't hold its stamina. And this is really just the big question of are you going to be able to hold through the entire map. I think these rosters are so in-depth strong, so well versed that they should easily be able to hold through, but you never know. And certainly quite the map to behold. a little bit of an explanation of the map. It is at the beginning of the map. It is, as you said, just this pure stamina with these snaps. The middle stage of the map, it turns into, has a bit more aim, has a little bit more of these wiggles in these streams. Very more into mechanics on top of the tapping, and while at the ending it turns once again into this pure stamina pick, kind of squeezing the last of your stamina out of you.
Yeah, the longest bursts in this map really appear towards that tail end, and it's after a bulk of doubles and triples finger control towards that 2/3 mark. So some people may consider that a slowdown, some people may consider that the hardest part of the map. We'll have to see how it turns out for these players. It's going to be no roster changes in comparison to that DT2, I believe.
Like that, yeah. Shrek's probably gonna start shaking his balls off on these bursts. He is known to shake while tapping, so it might just be a little bit funny going further into the map, but yeah, all of these players just looking really strong here right on the beginning. No early slip-ups here, and the map is 3 minutes, which is quite a while considering that is a very heavy stamina map. And first person to fall is gonna be Saika here on the side of Sweden's. Germany is still holding strong, no answer for them.
Yeah. Oh, so I got to trade it. It's just that falter.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's not great. I mean, we were worried about that. This is a lot more of a well-versed tapping check in comparison, and already we've seen the triple break. Granted, a couple of them are on sliders, which a well-known enemy of the tapper is the slider, but is going to still be this quad FC for Germany. And we were talking about on a map like Nomad 1, for example, how much damage can one player do? And the answer is not much when you have this kind of roster depth and this kind of consistency on these teams. This is a long map. It's about 2,000 combo max. So there is still 1,400 potential combo from this point. If we start seeing breaks from Germany, it's going to start with Shrek.
Yeah, Shrek falling here does open a bit of a lifeline towards Sweden. Saika missing once again, but that's not the most important combo. It's really just on Scylla, who's gonna be trying to keep it alive as long as possible. Map's really getting more and more difficult now. Another recovery combo on the side of Sweden falling. That's not what they need. Germany already 200,000 points ahead, and with these two FCs, it's only gonna keep going towards their side. Shrek here with the lowest combo breaking once again. Minoji now finally falling. That is a big lifeline here, but still there is so much work for the Swedish side to do. The score doesn't move towards their side anymore, but they need Germany to break at least one more combo.
Yeah, and at this point, we're beyond the halfway point, so the potential score for any breaks is going to be massively damaged. It's Saika still at solid accuracy, but needs to build up that combo. Melum right behind Scylla on the bigger combo. They essentially need a double break really soon, and they need to hold on to their FCs for a minute to come back from this 200k deficit, because this isn't double time. 200k is kind of tough pickings here, but Vana with these accuracy drops, it does show some potential. If that combo does break, there is potential as Scylla and Saika build up. It's Shrek to drop the combo still. The stamina kind of waning throughout this map, and the scoreline gonna start slightly shifting towards Sweden, but it needs to be one of these bigger ones if they want a winning chance.
Yeah, and it needs to happen extremely soon. Vana almost struck the combo here, slipped a little bit away, was able to somehow keep up the combo, and I think that's the most important part, because the score does once more go to the side of Germany with these bigger combos. Now with the scores and the combos really stacking up with this pure tapping, with this pure density here towards the end, they can pull so much score towards their side, and that is exactly what they're doing, taking this point here with 2.85 million score.
Yeah.
And it's, by the way, once again, top score.
Yeah, very strong score from Germany. I mean, closing out top score of the weekend with that double FC. Vana with emotional accuracy on him, almost shaking off of a couple of those stacks, but not going to be a problem if combo is king, which it is in this case. Minoji right behind him with that 99.31. Just very strong accuracies across the board, but Germany really showing off that tapping comfort there on a map with a little bit more depth than that DT2.
Yes, and now that we have seen Germany win another pick yet once again with some dominating fashion, it is the next pick here from Sweden, still ahead with the breakpoint early on. That's still a lot of work to do. What are they gonna be picking now? They could still be going for aim. The hard 1 is not gonna be the aim this week, so they might be looking here at maybe 1 or 2 free mod maps. We'll see how this one will go. Maybe even something like the Nomad 6. It would be a risky point because Germany is... I don't know. I feel like Germany just doesn't like playing that hidden 2 and just ban it because of that. I think Germany is gonna be a fighting force still on that Nomad 6.
Honestly, I think it's less a weakness thing and more a team strength thing. Sweden very much known for their hidden comfort in comparison, and the Nomad 6 is a little bit more 50-50 because Germany's reading is really solid, but not going to be touching any reading, not going to be touching any free mods quite yet. As we hop into Nomad 3, this map features quite a lot of snap transitions. There's a lot of stack doubles in the middle of these alt patterns, and it really kind of enforces your control on a map like this. So Sweden still opting for this kind of snap-oriented method. Alt, very much a cousin of aim, so still going down that route.
Yeah, just as you say, so difficult. Nomad 3. We've seen some incredible scores already previously on this, so very much FCable map here. France recently playing in the United States, getting 99% with 2 FCs with 100 and 3 100s, I believe, respectively. So had some crazy stuff here. Let's see if Germany or Sweden are gonna be able to replicate that, or at the very least beat out the other team. Pretty coin flippy, honestly, here for both teams.
Yeah, getting a solid score on this map is really tough ask. It's going to be very top heavy as we start to see some new players enter the lobby. Lightning Fox making his debut on this map alongside Couch for the Sweden side. Just some different looks from some different players. Starting to see the full variety of these rosters. Stella, that core, still going to be on the side of Sweden alongside Stella and Zeitfrost for the Germany side. Zeitfrost playing every map so far, I believe.
Yeah, really showing as one of these main carry players. Of course, Stella, very solid Nomad 3 player. There's gonna be Ahov and Lion. It's really just some of the strongest players in the team holding together, trying to brute force it through here, and players already calling it good luck, have fun, getting ready. Everybody is it once again gonna be a solo carry. I don't think it's gonna be happening on this map with how well players are performing on it. So it's gonna be important to have this big team effort here.
Yeah, team consistency, very important on maps like this. A very volatile skill set, kind of demanding comfort in many directions. There's a slight structure reading element to this map as you start to see some of these doubles come through for the cover, but still looking solid. Actually, Lightning Fox was a Swedish player, so we are just looking at that depth from the Swedish side. Aof being the new member for Germany, but holding on to combos is everyone early, just a slight accuracy advantage for the Swedish side early on off of the back of this quadruple SS, but the first combo break, however, is going to be on the squares, and it's going to be from Couch in a big way, matched by Blue on the same team, and we may be seeing a sort of comeback breakpoint here if things don't change soon. It's Stella the only trade, 3 FCs.
Yeah, these squares are just so difficult. Always expect to see some misses maybe right before that, maybe at them. The players know that they're coming. Some might be getting nervous, and I think that's exactly what happened here for Couch. Still 3 FCs for the German side here. Very solid accuracies. And as you said, the only person who has broken on the German side is Stella. Yet we have 2 misses already on the side of Sweden. They need Germany to miss soon, and that is exactly what's happening now. Ahov missing here on that score, and now the combo advantage is back to the Swedish side. Score barely going towards their side, just on the back of these accuracies. Yet still 2 SS, by the way, on the side of Sweden.
Yeah, those players so comfortable on alt and aim control. Lightning Fox brought onto this team for these gimmick spots, playing the tech, playing the alt. So comfortable here early on. In comparison, Germany slowly losing this score just a little bit as recoveries build up. No squares to be seen to strike out Couch from here on out. So 500 combo built up for them. Stella with another trade. And just as I say that, some more squares come
Ooh.
through. And it's only the supporting characters though. All FCs holding true. Zyfrost on the Soul one now to try his best. But Lightning Fox only with 1/100. Scylla still on an SS. And Zyfrost having to play solo ball. And as this map continues, Sweden, it's those superstars that make the effort work. And only a quarter remaining. That Zyfrost break, it will be all she wrote. 100k building up for Scylla and Lightning Fox to close out this double FC.
Yeah, what a strong pick here by Sweden. Is Scylla gonna be able to hold that SS all the way through the end? That is the big question here right now. It is all but guaranteed that they're going to take this point, but are they gonna take this point in style? Are they gonna have this SS on Scylla? That would be quite a statement to SS a map in the semifinals, and it seems to be happening. How crazy is that? SSing in match in in the quarterfinals, not the semifinals, pardon. But in the quarterfinals, SS on that normal tree, and the Germans, once they see that score, are just gonna be thinking like, well, nothing we could do about that.
Yeah, if anything, when you get beaten by such a strong score, it's like kind of a mental reset. Like you probably feel bad at first, and then you're like, "Oh wait, there's no chance. Okay, that's fine." Like that is a incredibly strong Noma 3 score, and beats out Anthony W's score by about 7k. It's just that 1/100 difference there for Scylla on the map. But away they go with that, and now they are up. That consolidation's still there. Germany needs to find a breakpoint at some point in this match, or we're going to be seeing a massive upset here. It needs to be soon. It needs to be this next pick. Otherwise, Sweden is going to be looking really scary on match point.
Yeah, as I said, it's just so dangerous. It's like, what are you doing against a team like that? And still like calling in chat, play better next time. Man, that is crazy. Lightning Fox and Scylla, boom, the score is just super dominant. And Germany gonna be putting their consistency pants on now, because that's all they need right now. I think maybe a normal 4, and it's gonna be the DT3 pick here, so they want to keep picking into the speed maps despite losing the DT2. But this one is a bit different. It's not as stamina heavy. It is really just testing your 270 BPM tapping and aim.
Yeah, I mean, they are still perceiving the speed advantage. On the plus side, Scylla kind of having a fantastic day in this match so far. This may eliminate him from the roster if they choose. Scylla solid on the stamina picks, but on the raw speed is a little bit of a waning consistency. So for Germany, this could be a very strong pick, as still looking for these tapping depth picks. They're not letting that DT2 slow them down, seeing as the breakpoint came just in those final few moments after this chain break. So still looking strong on tapping, still looking to keep this going, albeit this is the final tapping map of this pool other than Nomad 2, which Sweden famously very comfortable on flow aim. So it's going to be interesting to see what avenue they take once tapping is diminished.
Yes, certainly quite a challenge here. Players are now getting in. It's gonna be Stella, interestingly, for that DT3. I mean, not the tapping play for the German side. Usually a fill in for that. Hidden Frost, Vana, Mendoji staying in as their main tapping players. And Scylla. Who would have expected Scylla to play a map?
Oh, hey, look at that. He is playing this. I mean, you're having a good
That's
day, you might as
crazy.
well. I mean, if Stella's
Yeah.
playing it on the other side, Stella playing it
Is-
isn't too big of a shock.
it is to be expected. And yeah, we are getting into the DT3. Now Sweden has a chance. I think this map is something they could potentially steal away, but Germany, of course, still a force on it. And let's see if Sweden is gonna be taking this advantage in this match and try to kick out Germany into the losers bracket, or if Germany is gonna be winning their own pick here.
Yeah, they've been looking very comfortable so far, but this is a different breed. We're looking at 40 BPM ahead of everything else they've played so far, and it's going to be an early break for the superstars. Scylla to fall, Minoji to trade, Usulan, Saika, and Grippa holding on to decent accuracy so far. The SS from Grippa putting in a lot of work in terms of this lead, as well as the recovery combo. But look at that scoreline flicker. It is very contested so far throughout these early bursts.
Yeah, still 299% on the side of Germany with 199% for Grippy on Sweden. Super duper contested, as you said, and both of these teams really just trying their best. The map does get more difficult throughout it, not by much, so it's gonna be quite a speed consistency test here. Saika and Grippy, both of them breaking, and that opens the door far and wide for Germany to take this point on their own pick.
Yeah, it's going to be Scylla with Usulan as backup. That high accuracy player losing the combo is not going to be too great for the team, but they did miss on this snap aim, just overstaffing, and that's going to be Zeitfrost. That's going to be the main tapping player for Germany, actually. Estella holding on to 99% accuracy is something we didn't expect. Usulan also dropping, and suddenly this is a fantastic pick off the back of that. The Stella speed arc is here, apparently, with that score.
Yes, incredible stuff. Still 2 FCs on their side, no FCs on the side of Sweden with that recovery combo. But if these 2 FCs from the side of Germany break, this could still be stolen away by Sweden. Sweden still has a bit of a chance, but they need Germany to miss on these scores. And with that break here from Ozoblan Bolov, certainly not gonna doing the cut. I think Germany at this point almost here guaranteeing themselves here the point on their own pick. Once again, kind of always even... You kind of have to put these scores in hoping to beat even Scylla FCing. Scylla this time, of course, not FCing, but just so difficult for both of these teams here. So solid performances and score for them.
Yeah, this is a really hard map to stay consistent on through these bursts, but 2.7 million team score, no slouch, but 3.5 million team score, now it's a party. And Germany take out the final tapping map.
Well, guess what? Once again, strongest score of the weekend. Just both of these teams playing so extremely well on all of these picks. It's not even a question of like this team is blundering or whatever. Both of these teams just like throwing, okay, this map we have #1 now on the weekend on this map. Okay, the other team, this map we have the #1 on this weekend. It's just so well played from both of these teams. So competitive in here.
Yeah, that's going to be Germany dethroning Canada on that map. And, I mean, both of these teams just going for gold time and time again. It's Sweden's pick now, and this pick is mainly about keeping this breakpoint at this point. We're closing in on final picks for each of these teams, and this early Sweden breakpoint has kept this 1-point lead the entire match. Germany not able to match it quite yet, and they're hoping to keep up that consistency. Again, a full free mod on the board. The only Nomad maps remaining are Nomad 4 and Nomad 6, both of which are somewhat Germany favored, I'd argue. There's a Hidden 3 as well. So it's dicey. Like, I think it has to be a free mod here. Like, free mod.
No, the Hidden 3 is kind of spicy looking here right now. Germany has banned both of these hidden maps. Maybe, just maybe, they want to go into that Hidden 3. Or it could also be bait, we don't know, but I don't know, it looks kind of spicy right now. And it's gotta be the Hidden 3! The bait has been pulled in, and let's see if it was bait or really Germany just not liking to play these hidden maps.
Yeah, it's going to be going into Reimei. And this is a interesting hybrid map. We are going into CS5 finger control. A lot of kind of cut doubles in this map, a lot of slider trickiness as well, some hold sliders, kind of testing your patience at this slightly dense mid AR of 9.3. So it's going to be tricky. This is a very tricky map through and through, and for nearly 4 minutes of runtime at that.
Yeah, map turns sometimes into an alt map as well. At 1/3 it turns a little bit into an alt map, then speeds up once again, and at 2/3 the same happening once again. The map is also a little bit longer, on 3 minutes 37, and plays very flowy map on that low BPM and somewhat mid BPM and sometimes low BPM. So gonna be quite a challenge. I think we're gonna see Ahov here. I might even expect Stella, maybe. Stella very strong on these type of gimmicky maps, and Tidefrost once again is the main carry joining in.
Yeah, full rosters in tow. Lion, notably winner of Gary Spring Hidden Tournament last year, is kind of his standout performance. The performance that put him on the map was winning that match, and now going head-to-head on Hidden against one of the perceived strongest Hidden teams in this tournament. Sweden, if not only second to Canada, is going to be a bait pick, with both of the other Hiddens being banned out, this one being left open. So we'll have to see how leaving this Hidden open fares on these head-to-heads, as all players in the lobby and ready to finger control it up.
Yes, all of these players on the Swedish side are so strong. Alf missing here on that bus ladder doesn't mean much, honestly, but still a bit painful. Lightning Fox has performed so well on hidden maps, especially last week, or Scylla being Scylla, but Lightning Fox was even stronger, to be honest. So maybe he's gonna be able to replicate that. Saika now gonna be the first person to actually miss here. That's traded back by Lion. Look at the scores going back and forth constantly. Now with miss here from Saika, it's finally, very slowly but surely, goes towards the side of Germany.
Yeah, Saika having a little bit of a tricky intro to this map, but it can be consolidated. Again, this is the longest map in this hidden pool, so the other maps being banned is Curious Couch, falling to the wayside as well as the early Germany advantage, as Aoff, Kittenfrost, and Stella holding onto these near FCs. And Zyfrost to find the slider break though. Wait a minute.
Yeah, that is a very unfortunate miss. Something you would not expect necessarily. Couch does break once again, and now we're at the 1/3 mark. Immediately turning into this 1/3 bolt map, and if you can't adjust to it as quickly as possible, you might see some misses here. Lightning Fox does miss, gets traded here by Ahov and Stella. Psycho once again missing. It's still Scylla here with this one-man show, with this one-man FC versus no FCs on the side of Germany, with this recovery combo on from Lion.
Yeah, this recovery combo putting in a lot of work in comparison to that triple break. Recovery combos all fully in favor of Germany, if not just by a little bit. This 55k is gonna stay the same as we head through these square patterns. Very tricky, very waning. It's gonna affect some players, but it's the flowing pattern that takes off actually. And now it's very even combo. There's no lead on either side. It's Sightfrost, Stella with these mid-range 600 and 450 respectively, but the 450 is down. Sightfrost and Lion doing their best to fend off the beast, but Scylla still just so comfortable on this hidden. Lion with the slider break at the end of the flowing pattern is gonna do it, as we're in the final third of the map and this FC is still held. So long as we don't see any disaster breaks on a buzz slider here, the score lead is going to change phenomenally.
Yeah, can anybody stop this beast of a man? Scylla once again showing such dominance, such power, especially on that slow part, is going to be able to pull the score to the side. Germany needs Scylla to miss eventually, but even then there's still two supporting combo. The score is going quicker and quicker towards the side of Sweden.
Yeah, just a couple 100s being dropped here, a couple early taps, but better you tap early on some Air 9.3 than over-aim the pattern, as it's going to be that double break for Sweden. It's not going to matter. Couch has solid backing combo as well. It's off, and Stella, Zyfrost doing his best, but oh, wait a minute. With that couch break, it kind of changes things. There is a combo advantage on the Germany side. It's Scylla's FC basically playing defense in this final sliver. If he finds a chain miss anywhere here, it could flicker back, but you are asking Scylla to miss on a hidden 3, and that is a scary ask indeed. Flowing patterns hit, both of those recovery combos fall, and that's going to do it for real this time. No matter what Zyfrost does, Scylla closes out the FC on the hidden 3 as expected and as advertised for match point.
What a performance once again. Scylla just kinda unbeatable, it seems like, on this type of map. Germany just not getting these big combos through, unfortunately. But what can you do against a 1 million score, kind of outperforming everybody in this lobby by so much?
Yeah, phenomenal team score for Sweden. Not number one for the weekend, but a close second, only to Luna's Tabby for Scylla on that FC. Just a couple 100 difference, but more than enough for the point here as Sweden on match point still 2 ahead on Germany's next pick. I mean, Germany still have options, right? They still haven't picked the maps that we've expected them to be superbly strong on. The Nomad 4, they won the Hard Rock 3 more than any other map in this pool. I would really like to see Nomad 4 next from them. If not Nomad 6, as we haven't seen Burncastle play at all. Maybe he's missing. Maybe he's MIA. But Nomad 4 still on the table. It still could be very strong for Germany as their back is against the wall now.
Yeah, it's not looking good for them. Sweden, as I said, on match point, they could be stealing this away now. Now it is their best chance. Germany, of course, gonna have the next pick, but after that, it's gonna be Sweden's pick. And they have a lot to pick here. They could still go... I think the Nomad 6 is such a dangerous pick because you don't know how well the other team plays, and it has so much scary potential. So if a person like Scylla just goes in there and FCs it nonetheless, this could still spell doom for Germany. Once again, the free mods, I don't know. Germany doesn't seem to be feeling very confident. Maybe they're doing this timeout right now to practice them. Maybe to practice a little bit on that easy, but if it is, as you said, and Burncastle Semi is not gonna be here, this could be devastating once Sweden finds out.
I'm doing some investigative journalism right now to see what the players are playing. My Bancho is not updating, Gur. We don't know. They're just discussing business, I suppose. But in terms of what I believe they should pick, it's gonna be either... I'm feeling Nomad 4. Nomad 4 feels very comfortable for them. If not Fremont 3, or even a Hard Rock 1. I feel like Hard Rock 1 is really good, very like similar map, a very unpopular map this weekend, hasn't been played too much, but one of the harder maps of this pool that could be Germany favored. You usually see the higher seeded teams, the more poised to win teams picking the harder maps, and they feel like Hard Rock 1 or Nomad 4 would be the best of bets for this map.
Yeah. Potentially.
But that second timer coming underway now.
Yeah, Germany must be preparing right now to get some kind of advantage here. I mean, I would be expecting if Germany practices a map, it would be either the Nomad 6 or one of the free mods here. Get as much consistency through it as possible. We don't know, and timer is, as you said, slowly but surely running out. We will be getting the next pick very soon. And this could be the big decider here for Germany.
Yeah, literally, I've looked through the entire roster a handful of times. None of them are playing a map right now. Oh wait, Minoji is playing Nomad 2. So it might be Nomad 2.
Bro is spoiling for the opponent team.
It's my job. I'm doing my job. But like Nomad 2.
It's Nomad 6.
Oh, what? Why is he playing Nomad 2?
Nice try, buddy. Nice try, buddy. Now imagine if like the entire Swedish team like started practicing the Nomad 2 just because of the call.
That'd be very funny. But it is gonna be Mikazuki. We're hopping into Nomad 6, and I am curious about this pick, knowing what we know and don't want to spoil. Smiling emoji. I suppose we'll see if he hops in the lobby.
Still hopping. They're still picking the Nomad 6. It's incredible stuff.
Fan favorite for older players, the CS5 AR 7.6 rhythm check with the OD10. A lot of infamous scores on very difficult accuracy map, 93 being a notable best for some players. But if anyone can match that map here, it's going to be very scary, especially as a Germany pick against the Sweden team that's no slouch on gimmick.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what's making this even scarier? Scylla is gonna go to the toilet, so we're gonna have a refreshed Scylla on their side, which makes it even more dangerous. Germany not looking as strong as one would expect from them over here. Still, chance to be had here. Might still see maybe finally the last match ending in the first tiebreaker of the weekend. Not a single match has ended in the tiebreaker.
Yeah, not a single one. No tiebreakers shown. Been very close a handful of times, but unfortunately unable to fully squeak it out as we await our players. Osu and Bolab, just timer watching essentially for the team. But I don't know, man. I suppose we can say it now that the map is picked, but like, Semi is offline right now, and he is the standout reading player for Germany. So this pick becomes very scary with whoever they put in Semi's place, because he was put on the team specifically for maps like this. He's a beast in that mode. He's like the bat ball of Germany. But it's going to be very tricky for them to play this map without them, and especially on their pick. So there must be some confidence here in the players that do play this map.
Yeah. But still, if they pick the map, they must feel some confidence at the very least on this. And I still believe that Germany can pull it away. Sweden, even if Germany wins that, is almost certainly going to pick a free mod. Only a big question of which free mod is it gonna be. Still kind of shocked that Germany did not go for an mod 4 here. And these timeouts really edging us over here.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting here for whether or not these breaks will affect any warm-ups, whether or not those were practice breaks or what have you. So supposedly using the bathroom, but we have our rosters in the lobby very quickly. Just need Off and Lightning Fox to Shrek. It's gonna be Shrek, Lightning Fox, no, Shrek.
Lightning Fox playing for Germany. Finally,
Yep.
Finally the support we needed.
It's all Off, there we go. It's Shrek, Off, Stella, and Lion versus Scylla, Couch, Psycha, and Lightning Fox. A lot of S names in this lobby. It's been tripping up my vocals, but we have our rosters. We have Sweden on match point. We have Germany. I say this in every match, but when your back is against the wall, it's when you're most dangerous. And they're picking into a very dangerous map with Mikazuki as their pick to survive.
Yes, and I think both of these teams are just gonna do a great job on this, but it's gonna be so scary to watch these accuracies. Maybe we're even gonna see once again like these C ranks that were so often showing up in these tournaments. But I think, considering that they are so high-seeded teams, that are so consistently strong teams, we might not see them this time. But really gotta watch out for these accuracies, especially for the combo. This map is purely a combo map. You cannot expect usually to get high accuracy on this, and if you do, you are a complete monster.
Yeah, it's iconic. I'm sure there's gonna be nerves on some players just based off of the notoriety this map has. Of course, a lot of veterans on these two teams, so playing into that as well, as all the combos being held on early accuracy advantage to Germany off the back of Lightning Fox, but that is a big chain miss for Stella, matched by Scylla actually. So some unfortunate breaks on each side, as this is a confirmed and still growing score lead for them off the back of this double 95% on Germany. There is no similar accuracies on the Swedish side. Stella building up to that point as well, despite the chain miss.
Yeah, Stella missing here once again. Stella on the 95% combo, looking really good, despite losing that FC, still catching up here in score just on the back of his accuracy. Nonetheless, still 3 FCs here for both sides of the aisle. And It's getting
Oh, wow.
more and more dangerous, and here we go. Shrek, not happy about that. Don't want to lose confidence in here. Even if you miss, don't draw on the board. That's not helping you. That score now, slowly but surely, going towards the side of Sweden, but alone from the accuracy advantage Germany has right now, which is crazy. Honestly, I don't think I've seen a single team have so good accuracy across the board. But it is important that you keep these combos.
Yeah, and I mean, it's still the triple FC for Sweden with the combo advantage now for that double break, but Scylla is really unable to find this recovery combo. Somebody in chat saying that this was below his skill floor, so it's really tricky stuff if you are him trying to consolidate the scoreline for your team, but this accuracy is as well doing so much damage in comparison. Psycho, okay, the highest accuracy FC on the side of Sweden is 50k below Lion, the highest accuracy on Germany. So that's going to show how much that accuracy makes a difference in the scoreline. If anything, it's going to be the accuracies on those scores fully affecting the score differential on this FCs. And another break for Scylla. They really need to pull through for this combo advantage, as now Shrek and Stella combined match an FC from the side of Sweden. So it's essentially 3 FCs to 3 as we head into these triangle patterns at the tail end. We're going to be seeing a handful of breaks here with these snap doubles.
Oh, no.
And there they are, both the FCs, both the high accuracies fall as the gimmick players on Sweden look to close out this match now. Immediately a 60k buffer closed up by Sweden. Stella, the biggest combo on the Germany side. Saika trades it, but the big double stream is not going to catch out Coucher Lightning Fox. And in a series of misunfortunate events on Germany, it's going to be those 2 FCs being so massive for the team on these overlaps. And we are seeing the upset of the weekend right now, Flo. It is Sweden beating out Germany 6-3 if this keeps up.
Yeah, and it almost is over. I don't think there's gonna be any more slip-ups. I think the teams see it, and the happiness here for Sweden is gonna be insane. Saika writing "Let's go." Germany not happy about growing about across the board. Not feeling good about this loss here on that Nomad 6. And Sweden taking out one of the main favorites to win this entire tournament, throwing Germany into the loser bracket and going strong towards the next week in a winner bracket.
Yeah, that is an unbelievable scoreline. The player that was newly additioned for this roster, Lightning Fox, specifically for Gimmick, fresh off the presses of 5-digit and several international solo tournaments, coming to 4WC, closing out that FC for the team. Germany not able to close out any FCs in comparison. And in an unfortunate mispick, Sweden brings this through with a scoreline nobody anticipated. It's not a China tiebreaker, it's a domination 6-3 on that double break point. And if you're Sweden, this has to be the biggest chip on your shoulder going into future matches, because you just took out a lot of people's favorites other than the United States to win this whole thing. So this is going to be really big for them as they continue on future matches.
Yeah, incredible stuff, incredible story from the Swedish players against all odds. I don't think anybody expected this, and what power they did it. They didn't only just do it like in a tiebreak or whatever. They won 6-3. But damn, these matches were so close.
Yeah, but close matches, final matches of the tournament. Actually, is that true? Is there one more match? I don't recall.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that's it for the weekend.
If this is final match of the weekend, congratulations to Sweden for closing it out. Congratulations to both teams for monstrous performances on a number of maps. The semifinals pool showcase is going to be very soon. And as for me, leaving you guys off, feel free to !donate to the 4-digit World Cup for prize pool affiliations and artist payouts on any custom songs. It helps us greatly. And also feel free to hop on the Hollow Watcher hosted pickups if you're into that sort of thing. If you want to have some extra stake in the game, that's a solid way to do it. But I have been Hubba, that has been Flo, and thank you all for watching this weekend of 4-digit World Cup.
Have a good one.